Oh, that's right. What do you think? And I just had a great point of view from one of our Supremo Dexters. That's right. She said if The View is still on the air, she sees no reason. She sees no reason why Jimmy Kimmel should have been taken off the air. That is a great point, and I have heard nobody bring that point up. So good point. What do you think? 864-229-7984. That's the legacy line. If you want to try out our new line, 864-332-9355. Let me know what you're thinking. But I hadn't thought about it from that standpoint with all the, I'm going to say, the nasty things that The View says. It is kind of hard to believe, isn't it? I don't even know what The View, I haven't really seen any clips. I don't watch The View, so I don't really know what The View has said about Charlie Kirk's death. But again, some of the things that are said out there in today's world are just horrific. I was watching last night. I was watching some Charlie Kirk videos. I've not really. I've seen where Charlie some of his shows, but I was watching some of the videos, his interactions with students, and. Some of the things that he would, how he would interact, and how he would, I guess I would say, let the students pretty much. Although he said that he was letting them having a discourse, and he was having discourse. Absolutely, he was. And there aren't many people in this world that would have the patience to sit there the way he did. But his ability to just, I was watching one about, it was about abortion, women's rights, what is a woman. I mean, he really was a very good master at using the questioner's words against themselves. Phenomenal. And it was interesting also, I thought, when he was in these college situations where he would, the people, the gallery behind him, there would be those in support of the speaker, the person that was questioning Charlie Kirk, and then the group that was really in support of him. So and then of course there was this one I was watching that was pretty humorous. She says, every time I go to say something, you won't let me say something. You interrupt me. And she's going on and on and on about this. And Charlie Kirk is just sitting there, not saying a word. And she just keeps saying, you're interrupting me. Eventually, his security people said, you're out of here. But the way that he did it was not anything that hasn't been done before as far as conversation and discourse. But the fact that he took it to a young people, a college age group, and let them argue the point and then use their own words back against them was ingenious. And so I just wanted to see, because I hadn't really watched many of his turning point places where he would let you ask anything and then proceed to tear apart your argument. Now, what people believed or what people didn't believe, but overall, Charlie Kirk was usually winning the battle of the words, and that is an accomplishment. And so, as we get ready to this weekend on Sunday, they will be celebrating Charlie Kirk's very short life, 31 years. And I whether you believe what or were for everything that Charlie Kirk said is not the point. The point is that he was a master debater, and for that he is given kudos, and his beliefs were very strong. And he had no problem proclaiming them. And in today's world, it is very difficult to stand for what you believe in, because our society has become so intolerant of anybody else's views except the views that you believe are popular, are the correct views, not popular, that are the correct views. They may be the popular views, but the correct views. I think that every time that I sit down across the table here and discuss with somebody of different points of view, I learned something. I walk away richer. And I hope that if you're listening to our shows, particularly when we interview politicians, people with differing points of view, that you walk away richer, maybe by understanding a little bit about what they're talking about. Still, in the end, you may have to agree to disagree, but we don't take it to the level that they do in Congress, where, who was it? Byron Donalds and Talib were just going back and forth. How unbecoming. I don't know if you saw that or not. How unbecoming of Congress people. No wonder our country is in a mess. Now, I know people are going to say, Ann, how can you call out Byron Donalds? Because he was the one that was being attacked. Yes, he was. He was. But, and it was actually her comment about fascism, and let's just call out what fascism is. And she went on and on and on. And according to Byron Donalds, he just got fed up with hearing it. And I can appreciate that. Somebody, it seems like, I don't know, somebody should have called an end to what was happening in that, it would seem to me. All right, so quick note on what is happening on the budget. I'm not sure that I actually know the whole story, but they are right down to the wire on the budget. Of course, next, what is it? Well, it's a week. It's a week and so a week and a day, a week and a couple of days. The 30th, the budget expires for the United States of America, which means you and me. And don't forget, when we talk about budget and we talk about spending money, we're talking about us. Our money is what we're talking about spending. So they are sometimes the idealism of the Republican Party amazes me. I think I heard a clip yesterday of Mike Johnson saying that the Democrats just need to come along and, they're going to be responsible for shutting it down. Don't you always love how this, who's responsible for the shutdown? It doesn't matter that we may have a shutdown, but who's responsible for the shutdown? Number one, you should know Social Security checks, etc., will still be going out. Some of the parks they don't close everything down when they have a shutdown, but it is not a good thing, and it would seem they could come to a budget, and we were assured by the Republican Party that there would be a budget, and here we are a week out, little over a week out, and we still do not have a budget. How can this be? And what were they talking about? That the Senate may leave town? I don't know. They said something about they may leave town so they don't have to get in the fray of this. What type of responsibility is this? What type of responsibility? And the thing about it is, every time you do something like this, it becomes less. People just don't even care. You know, if it was the first time we were heading towards the cliff, everybody would go, oh my God, what are we going to do? Right now, I think everybody thinks, what a joke. You know, in the end, they're going to pass something. It's probably not going to be as responsible as it could be. So I just thought I would point that out here today. I don't really have time, nor did I really want to discuss it. But I was just, when we're talking about freedom of speech and this type of thing, where is decorum in there? Where is decorum? This idea that we have, quote, freedom of speech, it's my right to say what I want to say. regardless if it's hurting somebody or if it's mean or if it's hateful or if it's a lie. Doesn't seem to matter. There's no responsibility that goes along with saying what you want. Is that right? No, that's not right. Is that what you were taught? When I was taught growing up, it was, if you can't say something nice, Ann, don't say anything at all. Right? What's happened to that? We've become a society that is so engaged in my rights, my this, that, and the other, that we forgot about having the humanity side of it. I guess that must be why bullying is such a big thing. Because when I was growing up, if you bullied somebody else, you were going to get yourself in trouble. Just like in the Christmas Story, where Alfie's mom took a bar of soap and put it in his mouth and washed out his mouth for saying those horrible things. Well, it was a swear word, but the same concept. So we are way off base. The Jimmy Kimmel thing, I have very mixed feelings about, because if people are not tuning in and aren't listening to him, then by that very statement, the network has to make a decision to keep or not to keep. It's just like, let's see, who did I see? Who's taking over? What's his face's show? Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is going to be taking over his show on the nighttime. This guy, what is his name? I can't think of his name. Anyways, he was the first one to go in our nighttime lineup. I want to know, if somebody offered you the nighttime job at this point, oh, you are a big star. Ann Eller, we're going to give you that show. We're going to go there. We want you to go and be there. Would I take that job? Hell no. I would have the constant fear of being canceled. And who knows what I might say that somebody might find offensive. So, I actually wish Johnny Carson was still around. That was the best entertainment growing up. If you were allowed to stay up and see Johnny Carson, that was just the best. But I digress. Here this morning. The topic was, what about Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air? And as I said before, we put the curtain up, and a lot of people may not know this. It was actually a group of stations, a conglomerate that owned a group of TV stations that said, we're not going to carry the show. So it didn't start at the top, although some people are saying, oh, it's because of the president. No, it really was a group of stations that said, we're not carrying his show in that slot. We'll put something else in. And ABC started looking at this, ABC/Disney started looking at this and saying, whoa, we got this group of people saying this, well, then we are going to have to do whatever. And so they did. And that's how that happened. Somebody else had made a great point about, if The View is still on, why is Jimmy Kimmel taken off? I don't know. It's one of those things. But anyways, let's move on and talk about something else. The topic I really wanted to talk about this morning, I'm probably going to, we got enough time. The topic I really wanted to talk about this morning is got a couple of comments yesterday afternoon about my afternoon show. Don't know if you were tuned in or listening yesterday, but I did, I guess I could say, a pretty good job of talking about all the events that are going on in our community, and not just Greenwood proper, but Lawrence, Clinton, all around the area. So if you didn't get to hear it and you want to go back and listen to it and get caught up on what's happening in our community, I called it the What's Up segment. What's up right here, and did it with a KRP influence. So that was a fun show that I did yesterday afternoon. You would be amazed at how many events are right here in our community. So I really wanted to talk about, this is from the Daily Mail. that delicious newspaper from over there in UK. I really wanted to talk about Bridget Macron will provide scientific and photographic evidence she is a woman to a U.S. court, her lawyer reveals. Have you heard about this story? It was one I had not heard about. So, Emmanuel Bridget Macron and Bridget Macron are planning to present photographic evidence to a U.S. court to prove she is a woman. This is bad. The lawyer said that the French president and his wife will present evidence to support their defamation lawsuit against American right-wing influencer Candace Owens, who promoted claims that Mrs. Macron was born a man. Tom Clare, the Macron's lead counsel in the case, told the BBC's Fame Under Fire podcast that his clients were willing to demonstrate generically and specifically that the allegations were false. He said there would be expert testimony that will come out that will be scientific in nature without revealing specifics. Asked whether the Macrons would be sharing photographs of Mrs. Macron's pregnant and raising her children, he said they would be presented in court. There are rules and standards, the BBC reports. The Macrons, he said, have found the claims aired by Owens extremely upsetting. It is incredibly upsetting to think that you have to go and subject yourself to put this type of proof forward. Mr. Clare, that's their lawyer, said that it would be a process Mrs. Macron will have to subject herself to in a very public way, but said she is willing in order to do what it takes to set the record straight. I just can't believe this. Can you believe this? He acknowledged that the claims had been a distraction to the French president, adding, "I don't want to suggest that it is somehow has thrown him off his game. He's not immune from that because he's the president of a country," he said. The couple launched their defamation suit in July, accusing the influencer of propagating outlandish, defamatory, and far-fetched fictions that fueled a lie-filled campaign of global humiliation and relentless bullying. Miss Owens' lawyers has moved to dismiss the case. Owens, who has millions of followers on social media, has publicly repeated the claims on her channels. The allegation originated online and found an audience through French bloggers. Owens took it to social media in March of 2024 to announce she was waging her entire professional reputation on the theory that the French First Lady was born Jean Michael something, the actual name of her older brother, before transitioning at age 30. The conspiracy theory alleges that Bridget did not give birth to any of the three children and that her first husband, a 69-year-old retired banker said to have died a recluse in 2020, never existed. Oh my gosh. Those allegations were seized upon by a blogger, yada, 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 yada. The Macrons won their initial defamation case against these people in 2024, but the ruling was overturned on appeal this year on a freedom of expression grounds. The Macrons were also appealing that decision. So Candace Owens is holding strong to her position. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What is somebody going to have to subject themselves to prove that they are a woman beyond doubt? I mean, I can think of all kinds of graphic things, but how about just her chromosomes? Would not her chromosomes tell you whether she was really a woman or had just transitioned to a woman through surgery and hormones? That is the question. But this is something that is an ongoing story, and I realize it's a little bit different than what we usually talk about here on WCRS. But It says, "It is our earnest hope that this lawsuit will set the record straight and end this campaign of defamation once and for all." A statement shared with the Daily Mail said Miss Owens had promoted a preposterous narrative about the Macrones, including incendiary and variably false accusations of identity theft, incest, violent crimes, and mind control. You know, one of the things that you got to say, you used to see Candace Owens on TV quite often. Now you hardly ever see her. In fact, I can't remember seeing her actually since she's had children. It's been a couple, 3, maybe longer years. But what do you think about this? Is that not the most outlandish thing? What is that going to do? What is that going to do to the fact that people may have to prove their sex? And is this going to be something totally graphic? I could have no idea what they would do, except if you produced your chromosomes, I guess you could prove it one way or the other. Remember, Brigitte is the one who happens to slap her husband around. When they were on the plane, they were getting off the plane, I think here in the United States, or maybe it was France, I don't remember. But the media caught her giving him a wallop on the side of his head, her husband, the president of France. The world has absolutely gone crazy. That's what I have to say. If you'd like to weigh in on this, I'd love your comments on it. 864-229-7984. That is our legacy number. If you'd like to If you would like to try our new line, 864-332-9355. That's one where you can call and just speak your message, and it will convert it to a text for me. So I think that is pretty darn cool, So if you would like to do that, we would love to hear from you too. But I don't know. I thought that was an interesting topic, one we don't normally talk about here on WCRS radio. But you can bet I'm going to be following that one. I will be following that one to find out exactly how this is proved or not proved. I don't know whether it'll ever come to court, truthfully. It could be settled out of court. But Candace Owens is staying strong with her opinion that Brigitte Macron is really a man. Now, I'm not going to say anymore. I've said enough. Anyways, let's move on and talk about a couple of others. I do have a couple of local stories that I wanted to share with you today. One of the stories that I wanted to share, our superintendent of education, Ellen Weaver, by the way, is going to have some competition for her role. She has already, several people have jumped in the race. That's not really what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to alert you that is one of the things that is out there. But Ellen Weaver was down in McCormick talking down there. She also, was also in 96, and I did want to talk about this a little bit. At the Edgewood Middle School, 8th graders gathered Wednesday on Constitution Day to hear Ellen Weaver, State Superintendent of Education, announce the first of its kind partnership between the State Department of Education and the American Battlefield Trust. This new initiative, just in time for the nation's birthday, will provide free standards-aligned lessons for K through 12 students that bring history to life right in the places where it happened. Our battlefields across South Carolina are living classrooms where you can walk in the footsteps of patriots who pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to give you the gift of freedom that you enjoy today. That is a direct quote from Ellen Weaver, and that is in the Index Journal today. Beth Taylor, district superintendent, explained to students that Constitution Day is more than a history lesson. It's an opportunity to see how the ideals written on parchment more than 2 centuries ago still shape our daily lives and the rights we exercise, the voices we raise. So this is pretty huge. This is pretty huge that they're going to be doing that. I wanted to give a shout out to that, and also remind you that over there in 96 is very, very, very important in the fight for freedom was very big, because the siege of Savage Old Fields is being going to be presented. It focuses on the first battle fought in the state, which took place between November 19th and November 22nd in 1775 near present-day 96. Dr. Roush from over there at Lander will be giving a lecture to help recognize the battle's upcoming 250th anniversary. And that actually, this program is free and open to the public. It'll be at 6 p.m. at the Art Center next Tuesday. So if you're interested in history and you want to understand what role South Carolina played and what role 96 played, so close in everything, this would be an excellent program to attend. It is next Tuesday, 6 p.m. at the Art Center. Light refreshments and a cash bar will begin at 5:30, and the lecture will last approximately with 1 hour with time for questions. So please check that out. But this is a unique opportunity in our time to be here and to be experiencing the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. There are a whole lot of people that I must say would love to have been here and seen that America made it 250 years. I note that the other night, the 2 gentlemen that were here talking about the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, portraying Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, students would ask them, they had a question and answer period, and students would ask them, what would they think, and they would be asking about the way things are today, and they'd have to say, only through the lens of where we're at this time, I have no ability to see this. But do you ever wonder, or is this beyond our possibility of thought, what George Washington, John Adams, any of these, Thomas Jefferson, any of these people that actually did wrote the Constitution, what they would think about where we're at today? I wonder, truthfully, when we're talking about freedom of speech, as we talked about freedom of speech a little while ago, I actually wonder, what would they think about the definition of freedom of speech today and the myriad of topics that are put out there for public to discuss, and the level of hate and hurt that we try to put out there? I dare say that when they wrote the Constitution and they were talking about freedom of speech, I dare say that they were talking more about the ability of people to speak out against a tyrannical government than they were actually the tearing down of each other. But then again, I wasn't there in 1775, 76, 1787. I wasn't there in any of those times. But I really, and I have never been someone who delves deeply into history. I always have lived in the present and looking forward. I wish I had learned more about history. But I just wonder what they really would think of the fact. I also think that they made a very good point that without the First Amendment, and I have said this before, it was the First Amendment that really gives us the right to speak, to have religion, have our choice of religion, freedom from all these things. But then again, I also feel it comes with a responsibility. And there therefore, is where we have lost our way, because we do not say things in a responsible way many, many times. Anyways. But this is a program, now to go back to where we are, this is a program that is initiative that is between the State Department of Education and the American Battlefield Trust. So I believe that they're going to be bringing these type of programs, and I think that is terrific, and helping students understand that. So I wanted to mention that because I think that is absolutely terrific, absolutely terrific. And I also want to give you a couple of other things that are out there. Greenwood High School class of 1981 to meet on Sunday. Greenwood High School class of 1981 will meet at 3 p.m. September 21st. On the first floor of Cokesbury College, which is over there in Hodges. They must be getting ready for, I don't know what they're getting ready for, but they're getting ready for something. Bethel Missionary to celebrate 130 years. The Bethel Missionary Baptist Church will celebrate its 130th church anniversary. The celebration is September 20th with a church cookout at 2 p.m. And on 3 p.m. September 21st, there will be a service with guest preachers. So that is going on. And Restoration Ministries is going to have a prayer walk. Restoration Ministries Church of God will be hosting a prayer walk starting at 6 p.m. September 29th, starting at the Fountain in Uptown Greenwood. Also, the Little River Missionary Baptist Association is requesting your presence at September 21st at 3 p.m. They will have the celebration of the Little River Missionary Baptist Association, 152 years of committed and dedicated service to the surrounding communities. And they will be releasing a commemorative book titled The Journey of the Little River Missionary Baptist Association from 1873 to 2025. Now the Little River Baptist Association are located at 415 Riley Road, North Hodges. So that will be going on Sunday at 3 p.m., and they are releasing this book. I should also tell you, I talked to Edith Childs yesterday. She is going to come on Tuesday afternoon to discuss the Little River Baptist Church Association and what they have accomplished, what they have done. They are down to, she was very proud to tell me that they are down to, as of yesterday, they're trying to pay off their facility there. They are down to $87,000 to pay off their mortgage on that property, and that is pretty amazing. So Tuesday afternoon, we will have former Councilwoman Edith Childs, a force to be reckoned with, will be right here on WCRS radio. So that's going to be one you're going to want to hear. We also are going to have Representative John McCravey will be here. We're going to dive deep into the we have the heartbeat bill. This is I think it's called the Protection of Life bill that they are having a hearing on October 1st, but we're going to hear from Representative John McCravey that there's a lot of misunderstandings about what this bill does and doesn't do. So I thought it was well worth our time, since this is a hot topic, to have him come on and discuss things and protections that are in the bill. So if you have wondered what all is in this, because it's always portrayed as complete and total non-abortion possibilities, I think you should tune in and be tuned in to this. This will be coming up next Thursday, which is the 25th. Just wanted to cue you in on that. Now, there is one more thing I want to discuss with you. There's oodles and oodles Oh my God, and oodles of events going on this weekend. As I said, if you want a rundown on all the events, go listen or watch my podcast on Facebook, WCRS 98.5, or you can, I don't know whether it's up on the website, should be up on the website today to make sure that you are checking that out. We covered a lot of events coming up this weekend, next weekend. Race for the Helix is one of the events that's going on this weekend that I can think of right off the top of my head. But I covered the gamut, so I'm not going to do it today, but we did cover it. And I think it was kind of a fun show to do. All right, I wanted to talk about this. I had seen this on social media, and I wanted to make sure before the end of the week that we covered this. District 51 celebrates the marching band invite and academic achievement. Here is something that I think is well lauded and should be discussed. The Ware Shoals High School $1 Million Band. That spotlight has arrived with an invitation to represent South Carolina. Now, the whole state of South Carolina. The 2026 Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade in Honolulu, Hawaii. I think that this is just too terrific not to mention. So let me tell you it again in case you weren't paying attention. This is the Ware Shoals High School $1 Million Band that has gotten an invitation to represent South Carolina in the 2026 Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade in Honolulu, Hawaii. Let's give them a big hand right here on WCRS. Nope. Okay, let's try that again. Let's give them a big hand from WCRS to the Ware Shoals High School $1 Million Band. Wow. Okay, I wanted to do that because I think that is just so terrific. They are going to be going on Monday. Ware Shoals School District 51 trustees gave the green light for the once-in-a-lifetime trip that will allow students to perform in the 85th annual event honoring the survivors, veterans, and fallen heroes of the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor. So this will be an experience that these kids will never forget. And again, one of those experiences were being part of that band at this time. What an experience. And so congratulations, my heartfelt congratulations. You know, I think that music is such an important part of our children's growing up in school and everything. And we at GPA work hard to make sure that we bring musical experiences whenever we can into the school. So they will, they'll be performing in the parade, and then participants also join together for an evening concert that night. It says the Ware Shoals Band will perform 2 selections chosen by the band program. And Christy Hodge, band director, said the honor came after the program was recommended for its achievements in marching and concert band. Hodge added that even though the seniors will have graduated in May, they are still invited to participate. The 6-day, 5-night trip scheduled for December 3rd through the 8th is expected to cost about $2,900 per student, or roughly $120,000 overall. We know that this is a huge ask, and we know that it is a huge goal for us to set. But I also think it is such an once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Hodge said. This would be something that would last with them forever. I agree. Families are being asked to contribute $600 payable in installments, while the rest will be raised through approved fundraising efforts by the district or the $1 Million Band Booster Club. It says to ensure consistency and transparency, individual fundraising will not be allowed. Band directors also agreed to provide monthly updates to trustees to make sure the trip stays in line with district policies. So that was a huge accomplishment. But that's not all. Ware Shoals' success extended beyond the band room during the board's monthly meeting as trustees also celebrated academic progress. Recent SC-ready results placed Ware Shoals at number 23 out of 75 schools in English language arts and 31st in math across grades 3 through 8. So I think that's a lofty goal. I don't know where they started, but that is a big difference. While the district is proud of the growth, the goal is to keep climbing. Of course, you know what happens though, as everybody is competing for these figures. Two things. Number one, I think we can get so obsessed with testing scores that we forget that the goal is to teach our students, right? I mean, that is one thing. But all boats rise. So everybody else is competing and everybody else is trying to do their best. So that is Daniel Crockett, superintendent, said we need to provide an excellent academic environment for our students, and that's what we're committing to do. So congratulations to Ware Shoals District 51. Their $1 million band is going to Hawaii for the 85th Pearl Harbor Parade. This is just so fantastic for them, and I am so excited for them. So kudos. That's the positive thing I wanted to end on today. Our students are succeeding in spite of a lot of negative crap in the world. In pockets right here in South Carolina, great things are happening, and we need to celebrate those things, because so many times we get so dragged down by the media, the vitriol, etc. that's out there, that we do not celebrate the small wins in small communities all across the United States of America. So for all that listened this morning, I applaud you. That's right. And for all of you that didn't get to listen, well, I hope you go back and listen to the show. So we just had a comment from Judy. Congratulations, Ware Shoals Band. Yes, this is huge for that school to be able to be invited, and for the commitment of Ware Shoals to seeing that the kids in the band get to go is even huger. It's going to cost $120,000 to send them, and it is huge. I hope if you are a business or an individual, we're going to try to get some more information to see if we can at least shine more light on this, because I think it would be an excellent program for us here in Greenwood to help support those in Ware Shoals District 51 do what they are destined to do, go to Hawaii. That, my friends, is going to do it for me this morning. I hope you have a great weekend. We will, of course, be carrying Emerald football this evening. Where is Emerald playing? It is September 19th. That is a home game, and that is Strom Thurmond for the Emerald Vikings. On tonight, September 19th, T.L. Hanna and the Greenwood Eagles. That will be an away game. Also, I do believe tonight the Emerald Vikings will be hosting their young cheerleaders who have been in a cheer camp, to let them show off their Their talents. 96 will be home with Crescent. So just wanted to put that out there for you. Now, tomorrow, Clemson will be playing a home game with Syracuse. Here's what I have to say. They better get their butts together and win a game because there's a lot of people upset with them. So Syracuse is coming to town. It's a home game. Kickoff is at 12 noon. And so the pregame starts at 9 a.m., so there will be no Trash to Treasures tomorrow morning. We're going to let Clemson have the airwaves. And South Carolina will be playing away game with Missouri. So there you go. Lots of big screens and football mania will be going on all across our community. And the weather, we didn't really discuss the weather, so maybe I should give you a weather update. What shall we say when we look at the weather? The weather real quick is... What is the weather? The weather will be whatever the weather will be. Right now, 77 degrees. We are looking for a high of 88 today and a low tonight of 65. No real chance of any rain. Saturday, 88. Sunday, a high of 86. Monday, a high of 85. Tuesday, a high of 85. Wednesday, a high of 85. We are going to be in that zone with low 60s for the evening temps. Maybe a little chance of a shower, but no real big chance of any rain. As always, it is my great pleasure to be with you on Friday morning, and I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. I am going to try to get a little rest. I am pooped. I will just say it. I am very pooped. This world just keeps spinning so fast, and it's very hard to continually keep up with everything that's going on. So with that, I say adieu, cue the show end, and by the way, have a great weekend. That's going to do it for me. Bye-bye, everybody.